Hello, you beautiful soul. We are resuming our 30 days of inspiration, and today we're picking up on day 29. And today I want to talk about how I personally handled crisis over the last couple weeks, and I want to offer you some tools on how you can overcome any obstacles that you're facing and move into a place that is connected to your higher self, your inner knowing, and your ability to manifest your heart's deepest desires now. So I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but our 30 days of inspiration was interrupted due to my entire town and myself having to evacuate due to a wildfire. So in that process of evacuation, my personal experience of it also included having a loved one at the end of life transition. And so part of my experience of evacuating included helping her and her family to evacuate. And then once we returned home, supporting her and getting home and making a peaceful transition to the other side. Whew, yeah, nice deep breath. Pretty intense experience. The last 2 weeks definitely had an element of crisis and traumatic experience to it. I mean, 30,000 people had to leave town on the drop of a hat to get out of the way from a massive fire rolling through, which we basically prepared for our entire town to be demolished. Luckily, the amazing firefighters were able to herd the fire around all of the houses, so not a single house was burned during this experience, and we all had homes to come back to. So thank you for that beautiful miracle. Thank you, firefighters. I know that there are hundreds of people, if not thousands, who were affected by the Caldor fire, and many of them did lose their homes. But here in South Lake Tahoe, we were very fortunate and lucky. And even though my loved one, mentor, friend, Mary, left her body during this experience, it was also a very beautiful and graceful passing. So if you knew me well, you would know that the old Erin would have handled this situation of crisis pretty much drunk and completely triggered by my past traumas. Luckily, the last 15 years, I have been so fierce in my commitment to growing and healing myself that nowadays I'm able to handle crisis from a grounded, conscious, and love-filled place. Now, I'm not going to say that this experience wasn't stressful. I'm not going to say that I didn't worry, because I spent a good amount of time in worry for my loved ones, knowing that everyone had to evacuate on the flip of a dime. I'm not going to say that I handled the last 2 weeks in the best possible way. I'm sure there were lots of areas where I could have improved or been even more connected to love in that experience. I'm definitely not dwelling on it, because the way that I did show up for myself and for my community goes a long way. Again, I want to circle back to how much personal development, self-work, inner healing makes a huge difference in times like this. Because instead of being the one on the floor, basically needing somebody to come over and help me get out of the house, instead of being that person, I was able to be the person to show up present and in service for others in times of serious need. We are able to pull together amazing miracles for loved ones who needed places to go, And I know that Mary was extremely touched and grateful for me to be by her side in the intensity of what she was experiencing during the last couple weeks of her life. In addition, I am able to be so in touch with myself and my intuition that when my higher power calls me to be of service, I always answer the call. Again, in the past, that inner knowingness, I've always had this inner knowing that my soul was guiding me to help people at end of life and in their transition. That used to freak me out so bad that I tried to ignore it and hide from it in any way possible. I'm not going to say that it's an easy experience or an easy call to answer, but I do know that Mary's passing was so full of love and miracles, even in the midst of crisis, that I'm deeply touched and honored to have been a part of it. So I want to talk to you today about how you handle crisis and how you might be able to get in deeper touch with your own soul so that you can heed the guidance that your soul and your higher power is really calling you to do. Remember, we started out this whole month of the 30 Days of Inspiration talking about how each and every one of us are here at this time for a reason. Our soul knew ahead of time before coming into this body that all of these challenges and crises would be cracking off on our planet. You know just as much as I do how intense these crises are and how sad some of the situations really are and how many people are suffering and hurting because of it. Our job is to transmute our own suffering so that we can therefore be in service to others, supporting them and transmuting theirs. All of these experiences, challenges, and crises have love and miracles available within them. Even though they might be dark, scary, sad, challenges, crisis, chaotic, even though it might be all of those things, God, love, source, miracles can always be found within it in any given moment. I mean, look at all the blessings that came forth from the wildfire in our community. Everyone stepped up to support each other. Our houses didn't burn down. My friend Mary was able to pass gracefully after returning home. Miracles can always be found in any situation. So the tip that I want to offer to you today is to really get into a place of reflection and ask yourself and your higher power what opportunities lie within your current experience. What are the lessons that you can gain from these experiences, and how can you grow as a soul so that you are truly transforming into that ideal version of yourself? And I'm guessing that you're like me, that ideal version of you is a version of you that can handle challenges with confidence, ease, and grace. I'm guessing you're like me to where being of service to the people who are suffering on our planet is very, very important to you. That's part of your life's purpose. It's part of your heart's deepest calling. And now is the time to serve. When you're nervous, focus on service. When you're nervous, focus on service. When you're nervous, focus on service. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 30.